So no matter what's being done to you, you still have your responsibilities and accountabilities to the planet. So my dad, see, um, there were some contradictions when I would ask my family members how my parents were doing. There was always some contradictions with that because they would say, "Oh, they fine," and something wasn't right or adding up about what they were telling me. So I had my brother uh, install some cameras on the house because I just wanted to see for myself what was really going on. Because when I would talk to my dad, I would get something completely different from what my siblings were telling me. And I knew my dad. I knew they both were sick. Okay, they were sick people, but they managed to get up in their past 70, which is quite unheard of when you consider everything that could have been done to them. And I can see where things were unnecessary treatments. Okay, unnecessary. My dad was a laboratory because he was always having these tests done, and he got irritated and got suspicious as well, and he didn't trust anything that they were telling him, not at all. But he would do what they tell him because that's what we do. If the doctor says take this medication, we take it. If we, and my dad wasn't feeling it at all, so that's why he would not allow my mom or himself to have the flu shot. So so anyway, there was always contradictions between what my dad would be telling me when I talked to him on the phone, and then when I talked to my siblings would be telling me something completely different. I'm like, God, are they paying attention? God, it's just so irritating. It's so irritating. And I told them, we resolved much of whatever we had going on, but I told them they were delusional, and more so righteousness. All that righteousness is makes you blind. When you're righteous, you are blind. Okay, literally, and everything. You don't know what the hell is going on around you. Okay, because I remember 2 days before my dad died, I can tell that he couldn't breathe. I heard the rattling in his in his voice when he was talking to me. But every time I would talk to a particular sibling, oh, they fine. All this. Well, anyway, so what I did is a while before I knew I knew something was not adding up. I had my brother put cameras on the house so I can kind of monitor and see what was going on. And I saw what was going on. They all were lying. Okay, a lot of them weren't doing a goddamn thing as they were telling me. All right, so damn delusional and righteousness, and that's where we had our tension. But it's thus been resolved. I let them do whatever the hell they want. My parents are safe and sound, and so that was my whole intention. So I put the cameras up because I knew something wasn't adding up, and then of course I saw it. None of them were doing the things they said they would do because the reason why because they would go in the house and then quickly they were out. Now, how the fuck you could have been doing what you were saying you're doing when you go in the house and then less than 5 minutes you're out and gone? So whatever. But my dad did enjoy doing what he was doing because my dad was brilliant, I told you, because he was planting fruit trees all around the property. Fruit trees, food source of trees all around the property. Okay, and particular type of plants that would withstand all type of tolerance of the weather. Okay, that's what he was doing. And the people who claimed that they were helping him weren't doing a goddamn thing. Like I said, go in and out. So, but I'm glad my dad did that because that's my dad loved doing that just as I do. Just tending to things and caring for the planet because he knows what happens. He knows because he knows. So when the camera was on the house, I saw all this contradiction and I knew what was going on. Like I said, 2 days before he died, I heard the rattling, and that's I knew okay, he's definitely having trouble breathing, and I don't know how none of them recognized that claimed to have been around him, but I'm glad it happened as it did. So after I talked to him 2 days before he died, I called several family members. I said, okay, everybody, y'all need to get ready. All right, you just need to be ready, and of course, there's this righteousness that steps in, and talking about, well, they believe in God. So, and I mean, and there's no problem with that. But, you have to be you have to be grounded in reality. So I kept telling them okay. But, and so when he was found in bed, thankfully my mom was in bed too, and one of my family members came in there and it was freaking out, and carrying on and so forth and so on. He had died in his sleep. So, but like I said, prior to that, he kept planting fruit trees no matter what. He continued to plant fruit trees. He left food out for the birds. This kind of back, because his trees were all gone too. Most of it was due to age, and of course the climate. But he had food for the birds. Like a basket full of stuff for the birds. He kept planting fruit trees. He planted these weather tolerance plants like cactus and all this kind of stuff. And my brother finally is on board with all of that. I've been telling him to do it, to plant trees, damn it. But anyway, so you just got to be grounded in reality. Okay, grounded in reality. And question your beliefs. I keep saying that. What the hell do you believe? Are you paying attention to what's going on around you? And paying attention to signs. That there's something coming. Like I said, 2 days before he died, I knew, okay. And that's why I called some of my members and said, okay, y'all need to get ready. And of course, and I'll go back into details as to everything else some other time. But I just want to share. I was just out in my yard, just, tending to everything, making sure all the plants and flowers were being properly nourished. Sometimes, because of the climate, there's going to be a fluctuation in the rain versus not rain, or the snow versus not snow. Okay, so you still have your responsibilities and obligations regardless. Okay, so if you can plant some trees in your yard, plant them. Even though, especially if it's your property, plant some trees. American birch is good. It should be good for all regions and whatnot. Research it. Research what works in your region. And regardless of what anybody says, plant trees. All right, so these animals will have something to have some food or something, and protection and whatnot. So that's something I want to share this Sunday morning. It's beautiful all over the planet. And I want to send peace and love to everyone, over the stars, over the moon, over the mountain. And you know what? Michelle, I'll be back.